So that's the new cinematic. And we're going to talk about that fucking thing because there's a lot to talk about. But first, let me just say, goddamn, when is the last time we've had a patch cinematic that looks like that? You know, when is the last time we've had a cinematic in this game that actually is a part of the story? It's a part of the actual, like, canon instead of being like, oh no, you can face down the jailer. Stop the jailer before it's too late. You know what I mean? Like, we haven't had one of these in a fucking while. And this is for not even a major content patch. This is for a fucking point .0. Like, after I watched this, I was like, this is some Mists of Pandaria shit. Like, you remember Mists of Pandaria where they had a whole ass cinematic about Terran Zoo fighting fucking Garrosh? And at the end of the day, like, it really didn't, like, serve any purpose other than showing that, like, Garrosh has the heart of Yashiraj and stuff. But it was cool as fuck and badass and metal. This is what this reminded me of. You know? Not to mention that the character designs of these homies here, look at how much, like, they look like Giga Chads, bro. They look so good. And they have, like, I immediately took a liking to them. I don't know about anybody else, but, like, I really like them as protagonists. Like, they all have their own, like, personalities. They all have their own, like, I don't know. It's just, they just seem so much more, like, presentable, I guess you could say, other than something like the jailer, you know? Like I said, like, fucking Iridikron, the homie in the middle, right? He looks like Thanos almost. He's like a fucking Thanos type character. And, like, if he was the final boss of this expansion, I would not be mad. You know, I would not be upset. And this brings me into some of the other stuff that I was talking about earlier when I started the stream. But, like, so we're going to be getting in 10.1, no, or 10.1, right? Yeah, 10.1. We're going to be getting Firak Assaults. Now, this is Firak, right? The fire homie. So the next incarnate that we're going to be fighting is not him. And a lot of the stuff pointed at Iridikron being the next, like, guy that's gonna be, you know, on our shit list, you know? Like, we beat Razageth, and there was that cutscene and cinematic and small little thing after you beat Razageth where the aspects kind of talk, and they're like, Iridikron is gonna be the problem, we need to stop him. Well, Iridikron, everybody kind of assumed, I assumed at the very least, that Iridikron would be the next to go, especially if we're going underground into the beneath of the Dragon Isles, because, you know, underground and with the fucking Earth incarnate and, you know, Neltharion being the Earth Warder, you kind of just, like, you can put 2 and 3 together and get the idea that he's going to be going out. But no, that's not even the case. And that makes me wonder, it's like, how long is he going to live? You know, because obviously at some point we're going to fucking take this guy out. It might be in 10.1. It might be in 10 or 10.1.7. You know, but either way, this man is next. Then it's probably going to be her, then him. And let's see, if for right now, we know confirmed that there are going to be 3 patches for Dragonflight. Now, if we're not going to kill one of them in 10.0.7, and we don't kill one of them in 10.1, because you would assume one of these guys would be the finale boss of the new raid, which they're not. It is the other guy. It is this man right here who's going to be the final boss, which I'll get to him in a minute. But going back to these 3, if he doesn't die in 10.1, if she doesn't die in 10.1, and if he's definitely not going to die in 10.1, that means that at the earliest that one of them can go out is 10.1.7. Now you might be like, why the fuck does that matter? Well, it matters because if there's already 3 confirmed patches, that either means that 2 of them are going to go out around the same time, or there's going to be more patches. Because you can assume that, you know, let's say he goes out in 10.1.7, right? So let's say Farak dies, and then I don't remember her name, but she goes out, and let's say she dies in 10.2.7. Okay? Now, would you kill him off in the 3.0 patch? I don't know. I don't know. I don't think so. You know? I mean, it could be possible that like, you know, he goes out maybe in 10.2, and then she goes out in 10.3, and then he goes out in 10.4, which then begs the question of how many patches is Dragonflight gonna have? You know, are they still trying to do 3 releases, or are they just going to take their time and do whatever they need to do and have it be 4, 5 patches? However many they need, kind of like Mop, right? Because Mop had like 5 patches, you know, and Mop is to this day regarded as one of the best expansions for WoW. And if they're trying to emulate what they did in Mop, you know, if they're trying to emulate things from Legion, Mop, they need to do that, right? They need to flesh things out and carry stuff forward longer than what we are used to, which I don't think a single person would be mad if Dragonflight went on for another major patch beyond the usual 3. You know what I mean? By the way, gotta turn that on for the stream. But you get what I'm saying. Anyways, I also like the idea that they are going to Aberrus, which is, I assume this is probably a map of some sort that's going to lead them to it, or maybe like runes that will unlock the passageway to Aberrus. Aberrus, like I was telling you earlier, is the new rated 10.1, so obviously they're looking for something there. Now, what are they looking for? I'm not fucking sure. However, Neltharion has a lot of secret shit, and it's very possible that they are going to use another power, you know, or use something that Neltharion had to basically try to destroy the aspects, which goes back to what I was talking about when I was talking about the Song of the Sea on last stream, where there was this whole idea that the Void or whatever would use the power bestowed upon the aspects to then break down the barriers between realities and then allow for the Void to seep through. It's very possible that they could also be trying to use the Titans' powers. How much they hate the Titans, but that doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, they're kin for betraying them more, right? And so it's very possible that like they could just like try to nuke the aspects with their own fucking power, or take it for themselves and destroy it, you know what I mean? Like, and just get rid of it so that they're not fucking empowered anymore. I have no fucking idea. But still, it's interesting to think about. It's also interesting that they have chosen Zarakesh. Pretty sure that's his name, right? That's his name? That's his name? I don't remember his name. I think his name's like Zarakesh or something. I'm fucking stupid, alright? I don't remember names. But this guy right here, he is going to be the final boss of 10.1's raid. So, I think it's interesting that we have one bad guy trying to oppose another bad guy, but then at the same time they're both opposing us, which then we're gonna both kill both of them. I think that's really neat, and I don't know. It's very interesting that he will be a final boss rather than just, a guy we fight out and kill in the world or during the campaign or whatever. You know what I mean?